that's the thing about Trundle. You still have the leverage over a majority of the early game skirmishers in the game, and because Wukong kind of takes a while before he wants to start get their bases back in, get some decent purchases, and JDG can now send their bot lane towards the top side of the map, get Xiaoshu, did the beeline back over to the Grub so that he can be there for the play. Shun is already the first one here in the river. Maybe they're trying to bait on into a fight and look for a quick pick. Nice Cyclone interrupting the crash down. Even with the flash, it's too late. On is turned off, and JDG pick up first blood.
Because Scout was just, he needed to teleport back. He needed to get his reset, get back onto the map, spend a little bit of his gold, and he had no mana. So now we've basically forced our AD carry, our jungler anyway, to use the Cyclone. Wukong will not have that up and available. BLG, though, suffering because their bottom lane have not found good trades.
Subjugate is now popped. Weaver's Wall comes in, but the Hero's Entrance does as well. Wink tries to break up the fight with the hostile takeover, but they've lost their jungler in Shun, and Wink falls next. Like you said, Alk, no Cyclone means it's a lot more difficult, but here comes Xiaoshu with the equalizer, but just forces the flash out of Elk. But Scout answers with the flash of his own and throws a giant rock at the back of Elk's head. Call the Forge God already being used by Ben as he joins the fight, but this could be good for JDG. Just a way to flash onto Ben. He flashes and he still dies anyway. Scout is in a lot of trouble. Gets smacked over the head by Knight, but they answer back on a shadow. It's an all-out brawl on the bottom side of the map.
And the new top laner for JDG comes through with a magnificent teleport flank, gets the equalizer. There we go. We come right out of the replay, and you just felt it. You knew as a Shun appreciator, you're like, I can feel him hitting the dragon. The smite, my hand not a ton in being able to take down these opponents.
Oh, here we go. It's the quota of Scout getting caught out here. He does flick them back, but he's got no reinforcements coming around anytime soon. Well, is this where it starts out?
No, not yet.
Fight. So BLG are going to have pressure on this bot lane turret, which needs to be answered. Shadow's going to quickly take a few chomps out of it, ensure that they acquire first brick off the map here. And that all this time, putting the Trundle Fries in the bag for BLG has paid off, and being able to find these, small...
Xiaoshu teleporting into the mid lane tier 1. That should have been JDG holding their ground. We'll have to watch.
4,000 HP on the Dragon. Pillar already used. Weaver's Wall will separate some members here. On goes for the big engage. Hero's Entrance going to be big. Right on top. Equalizer. A lot of damage onto the front line. But the hostile takeover buys some time. And it gives JDG a momentary numbers advantage. Who's going to get the Dragon? Shun steals it from the hands of Shadow. Now he's locked in the pit. Still has a flash. Forced to use it over the wall. BLG, even with the first setup, lose the Dragon. In our first game against BLG. And I have to remind everyone, this was something that we mentioned briefly on the pre-show of this season. Okay, well, Scout's gonna die again. God damn it. Despite those numbers, should still be the heavy favorites given their current split 3 season form. But Shun now has found Shadow isolated from any other members of BLG because they've already run for the hills.
I think this is
now
fun.
An opportunity. These team fights here. Pays getting aggressive in the face of Elk. Force the flash away. Wow, that was a lot of damage already. Pays is forced out of this fight, and Wink might be in trouble. Equalizer from Xiaoshu is going to try to break it up here, but the call of the Forge God for the response knocks Wink out of the park and sends the rest of JDG packing. Elk is going to look for any stragglers here, as Pays needs to ensure that he protects his bounty and does not give up that shutdown, but this should give BLG all the ground they need to secure Otacon.
Otacon and potentially a dragon afterwards. That would be Soul in 40 seconds. They're investing the teleports coming out now. BLG make a massive pick from onto JDG. That could be a mistake that if we look at the end of this game with a BLG win, we'll be coming back to this moment here and asking, where did it all go wrong? A single pick there. And hey, if you're looking at this from the good side of JDG, they didn't lose very many summoner spells. Xiaoshu ends up teleporting into mid, and it seems like JDG still want to be able to contest for this dragon. Scout, please. Oh, thank God.
Well, that is Scout Flash once again burned. Now, this big entrance from the side of BLG, this big engage tool, can now be used again to force JDG out of the pit. And they're going to have to ask themselves, do they want to take this fight? He's already in. Hero's Entrance right over the top. Equalizer trying to slow them down, but Shadow secures the Dragon. JDG, can they win the fight after? They've already lost Shun. It's a 4v5, but so many health numbers are low here. JDG will not...
BLG got the Otacon off of that bottom lane play, and because of that, they're almost a full level over all of their opponents. Knight right now is level 17.
That's a big Galio, baby. And Shadow,
Talking about this draft as, okay, BLG got a lot of frontline. Can you maybe survive some of the early game playmaking? That hasn't necessarily panned out with how slow this game has felt. I mean, 14 kills at 32 minutes. Feels like an anomaly here. Oh my god.
On. Decent pick on the On. Shadow's too tanky, but On is forced to flash Weaver's Wall with Scout, trying to make the pursuit happen. Teleport from Xiaoshu. Equalizer is good. On is pinned. He's going to get caught, but the hustle takeover is now a 5-on-4 and advantage for JDG. Call the Forge God completely is not used by Bin because he is forced to run away. JDG trying to dig deep and pull a miracle despite being down so much.
Guy for BLG.
We definitely saw a lot of flashes of brilliance from him last year, but nowhere near the consistent day in, day out performances that he has been putting on, especially in this third split of the season where we're seeing a lot more pickoffs from On. And even with the support going down, Elk is still pulling his weight for the two of them as JDG trying to find their way through this river. The pillar forces Shun to use his clone just to dash back to safety. Call the Forge God now looking for a couple members here, forcing the flash out of Scout. Pays dashes over the wall. Xiaoshu caught by the taunt, forced the flash as well. Hostile takeover. Catches only one on a Bin. Maybe they can find a pick on the Shadow quickly, but here comes the hero's entrance. Shadow falls. Knight is going to try to turn this one around, but it's only onto the clone of Shun. Shun goes back in, has one more cast of the Cyclone, gets a Knight up in this Knight, but he's too tanky, Elk. JDG still
waiting for their ultimates. 8 seconds on that Weaver's Wall and 5 here for Wink.
Trying to burn it down. Knight is forcing Scout away. Call the Forge God completely unused by Bin, but they burn up Wink anyway. Shun trying to commit to the Dragon, trying to burn Bin down. It should go over.
They got
Scout,
it.
It's secured the soul for JDG, and now they can try to turn the fight on his head. They've already burned out Bin. Elk might be in trouble, and he's got the hero's entrance to back him up. Baron is being burned down. Already below 7,000 HP. JDG trying to step in and force them off of it. They maintain the leash. On trying to threaten him with a flank on the left side, but Xiaoshu is marking him. Call the Forge God coming through. Wink throws out the hostile takeover. Scout tries to throw up.
Shun
Killed the jungler before it goes down.
He got it!
He steals the Baron! He steals another objective away from Shadow. Pays! Able to take out L2! JDG are pulling a miracle out against BLG, the undefeated team! In split 3, Scout might get caught here. The taunt from Knight will land, and at least he gets some revenge, but Knight has now condemned himself to a death to JDG. It is a full ace coming in for the side of Jindong Gaming.
Oh my god, they've done it. They've got Baron. Shun has been on top of the smites, a mechanic that we have had some questions for whether or not he's really been as tight, but with 3 grubs and 20 seconds before the next member, I think JDG just won game 1.
On is up in 5 seconds, but he's not a carry. He cannot kill the waves, and the rest of JDG are operating 4 men strong. Pays and the rest of JDG will continue to maintain their undefeated game streak against BLG for the season of 2020.